Hello everybody, my name is Wolfsburgetta and welcome back to the channel. If you have seen, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video and yeah, there's been a lot done. A lot. So I'm going to go over the stuff that's been done in this video. I haven't done a lot of videos. I kind of got sidetracked on actually doing the car and not making the videos. Kind of bad on that and I apologize. But I'm going to continue the restoration and all that stuff, and I'm going to show you guys what all has been done. First off, biggest thing is parts are just everywhere. I don't have shelving. I will eventually actually, where I have all those old license plates and all that stuff, I will put shelves along that area. That's where I'm going to put all those parts so I can take them off this table and kind of organize them better. I've been doing an okay job of organizing stuff. As you can see, I've got baggies labeled with just bolts that I know are important, hoses where things where they attach. I've got a couple different hoses replaced. I have the main air filter. The air filter was dirty. The spark plugs, I'll show you guys here. They do not look the best, so it will need new spark plugs. This engine's going to need a huge maintenance overhaul when it comes through. We're going to have to do a lot of cleaning and stuff. The whole point of the engine coming out, though, is because we're actually going to be making it look better. So we're going to do a lot of line tucking. This is for AC, that's different sorts wise. We're doing a lot of line tucking. We're going to be getting rid of a lot of vacuum lines that don't need to be there. There's a lot of vacuum lines that Volkswagen just put on. They put a lot of vacuum lines on. One thing though is because this car has air conditioning, which wasn't a standard option on this car, you actually had to select it from factory. This engine bay is a lot different than a normal Scirocco without AC. Now, a lot of people would do an AC delete and stuff like that. I'm going to leave AC in this car because I do cruise with this car. And I would like to have AC. Now let's go over a couple more situations. First off, the radiator was taken out, the radiator fan housing, and the radiator fan was all taken out. That wasn't too hard. It is essentially two spots here, I believe here and here, that it bolts onto, and then there's like kind of bracket mounts, or just kind of like mounts into place. It's pretty interesting. It's embedded in the frame. It's really nice, actually. It's easy to take out. These two parts were easy to take out. The radiator fan came off. Not that tough. That wasn't too tough to get off. I will have to get a new radiator though. That one is toast. And the radiator fan housing will have to get powder coated. This will actually get sandblasted and powder coated. And the radiator fan, I do have to check and make sure that fan works still. The car never had cooling issues, to my knowledge, never overheated, so everything was good, but the radiator, the coolant that came out of it was disgusting. It was brown, and it shouldn't be brown. So other than that, a lot of the fins are damaged. I don't think it's just getting the best airflow that it could be, and I want this engine to last for a long, long time. Second thing was also the radiator hoses were disconnected. I drained all the coolant out that at least could come out. I'm sure there's still some in the engine. Probably will end up dumping out when it gets the chance. That thermostat still has to come off. AC system. I'm going to cover this really quickly. AC systems are interesting on these cars. So the AC comes through here, goes down this line, goes down into the AC compressor, which is actually this huge thing right here. Then it comes into this end here, goes into, and I might have this reversed, but then it goes into the condenser, comes out down there, and then snakes through to here, and then snakes all the way back. Now, pretty simple, to say the least. I don't know what all goes on in there, but I will be keeping the AC unit. We will be doing some of this reservoir hosing. Going from there, I do have to get this removed though and get the AC compressor out of the car at some point. The other thing is I have unbolted this power steering fluid reservoir. Haven't touched that. Power steering pump and water pump are underneath the AC compressor actually, interestingly enough. To get those, it's a little tricky, but shouldn't be too bad. All the air filter stuff is really good. All of that is over here. There is a huge amount of carbon buildup on here though, and it is very, very bad carbon buildup, so we will have to scrape that off. There was some carbon buildup here on the head itself, in the valve cover. Speaking of the valve cover itself is going to get powder coated, and part of the timing belt cover is going to get the upper part of the timing belt cover is also going to get powder coated as well. I have the brake fluid reservoir that sits here. I do have to take this off, taking a lot of lines out. But let's move back to the CIS system. Now, this is the CIS part, the major part of the CIS system. This is the kind of fuel injection, kind of the big fuel injection. There's a fuel filter there. It sits about right here. I have it moved out of the way for right now. This hose cracked and will need to be replaced. I haven't touched anything with the brake reservoir except there is a hose that goes into here. It's a vacuum hose that feeds off, and it goes into this port right here. I do also have pictures of everything that I take. This throttle body needs to come off. I have my throttle cable right here, and I have my clutch cable right here. I have my braking, all my brakes are right there, so I don't have to worry about that. I did take the distributor cap off, as you can see, and the spark plug leads, they're all taken off. The distributor cap's actually over here and will need to be replaced. It is very crusty in there, and it is a little alarming. Most likely going to need to replace the starter. Not 100% sure though. Disconnected the air intake. The box, I still haven't figured out how to take that out. I'm still learning how to disconnect stuff on this car. And anything that I disconnect electronically, I do a pretty good job of labeling with tape and a Sharpie. That's why I have tape and Sharpie there. We have the valve cover bolts there. A lot of stuff is still being taken out of the engine. The only thing that's not going to be taken off is the head is not going to be removed. That's going to stay on the car. The other thing that's also staying on the car is anything head related. The cam is not going to come out. That's actually just going to be cleaned up. The top of the head here is going to be cleaned up. We're going to double check the combustion chamber. We're going to check compression, make sure that's all good. We will be dropping the transmission at some point, replacing the clutch, and the power steering pump and the water pump are most likely going to come out, as well as a bunch of other stuff over there. That's pretty much what's been done. It doesn't sound like too much, but it's been a journey. I will be doing a lot more, and I'll try to record as best I can. In January, this car will go up on jack stands, and we're going to start getting it ready to take off all the suspension and braking components once I get the engine fully disassembled, and go from there. But other than that, that's pretty much what's happening with the car. Now, biggest thing is disconnecting the fuel lines, taking off the air intake manifold, and then taking off the headers, which are underneath the intake manifold, taking off the alternator. That alternator, I probably will most likely get a new alternator. Depends on on the alternator. I know it's good. Kind of want to might leave this one, depending. We're going to double check and see. Really just depends. New distributor rotor as well. That's also going to probably need to be repaired, knowing wise. And other than that, the whole CIS system is going to be taken out. We're going to redo that system, make sure it's all good, double check everything. And that is pretty much the big update. One annoying thing I have found on the car that I will add before I end this video is the previous owner put a lot of zip ties on this car. That's all zip ties that I cut off the car. That literally wiring was zip tied together. Vacuum lines, vacuum hoses, bunch of stuff. So with that being said, I hope you guys stick around. Please subscribe if you do want to see updates. I'm going to try and update more as I go along. I will talk to you guys later.